Good day, mates, and welcome back to Pastor Paul's Daily Devotional. My Australian accent stinks, so I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining me. It's Friday. Guess what? You're here. I'm here. Let's do this. So this week we're wrapping up my devotions based on Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 6. And what we learned yesterday, the big idea of this text is that Jesus is the great shepherd king. Jesus is the great shepherd king. Between the Magi, between the fulfillment of Micah chapter 5, we see that Jesus is the great shepherd king. Now, what do we do as a result of that? What are the implications? What are the consequences? What are the application points, if you will? Well, let me give you two. First, you need to know that God is both mighty and compassionate. Our shepherd king Jesus is both mighty and compassionate. He is a shepherd, one that grew up in the shadow of a great city. He was born to poor parents. He was born in a utility shed. We have this sense of him being overlooked. We have this sense of just not much going on. And we know that Jesus lived in pretty much anonymity the majority of his life up until he's 30, and then the final 3 years he goes into ministry, and then the final year he's super famous. But he's compassionate, he's empathic, he's both a shepherd, and he's experienced what it feels like to be poor, to be marginalized, to be overlooked. And so if you're out there and you feel that you've struggled, that you've been marginalized, you've been overlooked, that you feel isolated, you feel alone, like nobody knows, nobody cares, you have a great shepherd king, okay? And he knows you, he cares about you, and he's mighty, he's strong, he's powerful, right? He told the storm to be still. He called Lazarus out of the grave. He touched people and healed people. And then we know ultimately he rose from the dead and he ascended to the right hand of God the Father. He's both mighty and he's compassionate. Reach out to him today with whatever it is you need. Loneliness. You need a prayer answered. You need God to move in a mighty way. Reach out to your mighty and compassionate shepherd king. And then number two, I just want to remind you, if you move on into Matthew chapter 2 and you go down to verses 10 and 11, the Magi, the wise men, go on and they find Jesus. They go to Bethlehem, and what do? It tells us in the text, when they finally find Jesus after their 800-mile trek, that they fall down. They literally prostrate themselves before Jesus. They lie down and they worship him, and they rejoice that they found him, and they treasure him so greatly. Not only did they travel 900 miles or 800 miles, whatever it was, to find him, which would have taken them a couple months, but they give him expensive gifts. They give him treasures. They treasure him by giving him rare and expensive treasures. And so the second thing I would say is not only reach out to him, but do you and I treasure Jesus to the same extent to these Gentile astronomers and astrologers? They traveled a great distance. They found him, they bowed down, they worshiped him, and they treasured him by giving him great treasures. Do you and I love Jesus that much that we would pursue him? We would go whatever the distance, we would do whatever it cost, we'd give him the best gifts, and we'd bow down and worship him. Do we treasure him that much? Think about that. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend, and I shall, God willing, see y'all next week. Peace out.